Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Feed podcast. And it is time for the February game show. And we realize that since the World Cup is right around the corner, we have decided to connect the two and provide you with some pre-tournament entertainment. So before we explain the game, let us have a chat with our co-host Yash. So welcome back. How was your busy week?
My
How
week
busy
was,
was your week?
yeah, my week was quite busy, as you mentioned, and this is quite normal now for me, but I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to this exciting podcast.
So since you have designed this game, I would like you to explain it to our dear fans.
Sure. So, I'm sure all our viewers must have heard of a tier list. If not, let me quickly show you what a tier list is. And that's what our game is based on today. So I'm sharing my screen. There you go. So we are basically going to rank all the 20 jerseys for this World Cup. So at the bottom, as you can see, there are 20 images of all the jerseys, and both of us will look at each jersey. We'll discuss if we like it or not, and then place the jersey in one of these five categories, five tiers basically: S, A, B, C, and D. And S, as you can see, is at the top. So that's basically all the best jerseys, and I think we should limit that to maybe two or three, and then progressively, when you move downwards, the quality kind of gets bad. So this is the game.
Yeah, so it's a very easy to understand game, and
Yeah.
from my initial impressions, I can confirm that there are a few absolute class jerseys here, so it's going to
Yeah.
be really good. So let us straight away dive into it. So you have all the controls. So the
Yeah.
first jersey.
So the first jersey, and I also maybe change this presentation, or I'll present a different tab with a slightly bigger image so that our viewers and both of us can see the jersey properly. So let's start with the first one, and it is the co-host Sri Lanka. So what are your first thoughts about this jersey?
I think it's got a bit of a retro feel to it, but I don't like the fact that the World Cup logo is in white on top of a yellow background, so it's not at all visible.
Yeah.
I think it's decent. I've seen Sri Lanka go with a lot of complex designs in the past, and this is much
Yeah.
simpler compared to those.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't like this jersey a lot because, like you mentioned, it's too plain and too simple. They usually always have a pattern going on the front, and over here it's just plain yellow with the Sri Lanka text. So it's too basic. I think some of the associate nations have better jerseys than this, so I don't like it at all.
Uh, I think this should go into D tier.
Yeah, I agree. So, not a good start, but I hope, like you mentioned, the other jerseys are going to be much better. And we will obviously have a few disagreements. Luckily, with Sri Lanka, both of us think it's very bad. So, let's move to the next one now. It's Zimbabwe.
Okay, so another primarily yellow jersey. I think this is very much an upgrade from the previous one. You've got Zimbabwe in the center, and I like the collars and the arm
The
edges.
sleeves. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a very good design, and of course the Zimbabwean emblem, kind of, that whatever that bird is, it's also there on the jersey. So I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm also a big fan. I think in the past, Zimbabwe jerseys have also had some green, which is based from their flag, but this one doesn't have it. But as you mentioned, I like the collar and the sleeves. It's got that typical African pattern, so it makes it a bit unique. Uh, I think luckily for them, they don't have Uganda or Kenya playing in this World Cup, so they can basically carry the entire African tradition. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm happy with this.
and I think the gradient, if it's not tucked in, then the t-shirt gradiates to red, and that's what the pants are. So it will
Hmm.
look even better on the field.
Yeah,
So I think
and
this,
this is you can see this red block which has the text Zimbabwe. That's exactly what Sri Lanka needed to do. Just play
yeah,
around with it. This is just too simple. Anyway, so I think this can go to B or A, one of the two.
uh, I think B would be good because it's again not too nothing special, but they've done the basics right.
Yeah. Right. So now let's see which is the next jersey. And it's
Oh.
your favorite. And a lot of fans also love this country. It's Nepal. And I'll give my thoughts first. I think this is a fantastic jersey because there are a lot of elements in this. If you see, there's this pattern at the top, and then down here you can see the mountains, which is basically inspired from the Himalayas. Which is a nice ode because I think that's the biggest um, biggest thing that makes
Selling point.
Nepal famous. Yeah, they're famous for the mountains, and they also have these elements from their national flag. So I'm quite happy. I just think that this part feels a bit crowded, but apart from that, the jersey looks very good.
Yeah, I think the mountain design having the red color is a good choice. It gives it also a subtle fire kind of a look, which I like, and I mean it's kind of a traditional jersey. This is what they've been wearing from quite a while, at least the colors. So I like that they've stuck to their tradition, just like Zimbabwe. But uh, I think this is also a good jersey, and I would have liked a bit, uh, kind of. I don't know why, but the color combination doesn't really go together, I feel. But I mean, this is their traditional colors, so I can't really blame their traditions. So I'll not consider that as a weak point. I will give this maybe uh, a C.
Oh, uh, I would give it a B, but I think we can go with C. But from far, this also looks like the old Delhi Daredevils jerseys, and I think England also used to have a similar color palette, maybe in 2011. So it looks quite familiar to me, at least. All right, so Nepal is going to C. So it's good that we have three different tiers filled so far. Now let's look at the next jersey. Oh, there you go. The hosts. And I've purposely put Ishan Kishan because I think we should talk briefly about him because his rise has been phenomenal over the past few months, and I think he also scored a century and a quick 550. So, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, firstly talking about Ishan Kishan, then we'll talk about what he's wearing. I think Ishan Kishan has uh, kind of grabbed his opportunity. You rarely get opportunities in India in to replace someone who's been a regular for the last 2 years, and within a span of maybe 2 weeks, he has kind of just turned the picture around. And you can't really blame the management for this. You can only blame Sanju Samson because it's not that just a couple of failures and he was maybe pushed down and Kishan was promoted or anything like that. He was given 2 games against South Africa, if I'm not wrong, or 3, and then an entire series against New Zealand. And he scored 46 runs in the entire series, which Ishan Kishan maybe scored in like 10 balls in one of the T20s. So I think he's really done enough to warrant his position, even though the top 3 might be all lefties. You can always change it around if it becomes a problem within the batting order, but he deserves to be in the 11 ahead of Sanju.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So let's move to the jersey. What are your thoughts?
I think this is one of the most football inspired jerseys, I would say, and it makes sense because Adidas have made this. I think finally they have come to life in their jersey game. Surely they had a couple of iconic ones, but this is something you would relate to Adidas. When you first think of Adidas, this is something that would come to your mind. It is a very good jersey, and I would actually say it is India's best T20 jersey
Oh,
of all time.
that's quite a bold claim because I am completely on the other side. I think this is a downgrade compared to the previous jersey. I don't like the stripes. It kind of gives me the vibes of a jail uniform with those black and white stripes because the contrast is a bit too much. The blues on the stripes are too dark, and the other blue is a bit too light for my liking. And as you said, this feels more like a football jersey, not a cricket jersey. I think the only good thing is the collar. They've got the tricolor on it. That looks quite good. And I saw a version that Adidas sells, which doesn't have this orange over here, and that looks much better. I think this orange kind of just adds a bit too much to this jersey. For me, I think this is a B. It's in the middle. I neither like it nor do I hate it.
Yeah, I think B would be fair here. I would have given it A, but if we average out our opinions, B is better.
Yeah. But I do prefer it to over Zimbabwe. So it's basically the ones on the left are better than the ones on right. Okay, so let's move to the next team. And I haven't really organized the order in a particular way, so it's basically random. Let's go for the next one. And it's the new team. I think many fans will be looking at them for the first time. It's Italy.
Yeah, so nothing really going on here. And as expected, I didn't even know that they could come up with a jersey. Like, this is at least far better than what they would have expected to play in. I think there's no real design here, so I don't know if it's fair to judge them, but I mean, we have to because that's what we're doing here. So I'll say D.
Oh, I actually really like this jersey, and this is something that Sri Lanka should learn. Because if you zoom in, you can see the subtle flower pattern, which looks quite good. And then if you look at the inner part of their buttons, they have the Italian flag, which is also a nice touch. So this, I mean, as you said, it's nothing huge, but it's still something, and it's better than what Sri Lanka have. So I think I'll give this a C, not a D.
Yeah, maybe the shoulders, if they were of a different color, and then match that with a different color of the pants to go with the shoulders, maybe they could have created a cleaner but a bit better jersey.
Yeah, I mean they have this green and red in their batch. They could have maybe instead of having this as dark blue, just add green and red. Anyways, let's put them for now in C, at the back of C, and then if there are too many C's, we'll move them down.
Mm.
So now the next jersey, we have 1/4, are we? Next up is Canada.
You go ahead.
This is a very weird jersey because usually you would expect Canada to have a red jersey, but they've gone with black. I do like the maple leaves in the background. That's a nice touch. But apart from that, I am not a big fan because it doesn't really symbolize Canada. The last thing you would expect in Canada is black. You could have either gone with white to symbolize the snow, or you could have gone with red. But I'm not a big fan of this.
Yeah, I think last time around they had red and yellow colors in their jersey. So I don't know why they moved away from it, but I think it looks clean. That I would give to them. Even their logo, actually, I really like their logo.
Yeah, the
Uh,
logo is good.
So maybe again it's a bit too generic. They've just not been creative enough. The background, a bit of pattern, but they've kept it clean. So maybe C for them as well.
Yeah, but do you? I think I would prefer this over Italy because they at least have
Yeah.
something going on. So Italy moves.
And honestly, blue is a bit too common. You'll
Yeah,
see
as you
it
can see
a lot.
down. Yeah, there are a lot of blue. All right, let's move to the next one now. There you go, another blue jersey, but it's time for US.
It's time for
You
me.
can go ahead. Yeah.
So I think this is a very unique jersey. It's got. I think it's the first time I've seen USA being a bit thoughtful about their jersey, and it's made by Yash Sports, which is a Canadian brand. So I like the white collar and the edges, though they don't really match with the other colors in the jersey, but they are a part of their flag, so it makes sense. And the stars, of course, uh, are an integral part of the American flag. So I like the jersey, and even the color is something they've gone with in the past. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's interesting. I again find this a bit generic. The only good thing is that they've got stripes in a few stars and they've got stars in a few stars. But apart from that, it's again quite generic. I think they also have a pattern going on in the background, which kind of saves it for me. But I'm actually not a big fan of this collar because if they would have made the collar maybe blue or red, it would have looked a bit better. But it just stands out too much. So I would give it
Yeah.
maybe C again.
And one thing to notice here is that the American cricket, whatever board runs it, is under sanction by ICC. So they're just not representing them. They're representing United States of America, the country. So they have their own flag there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. So, do you prefer this to Italy and Canada?
I would put it ahead of Italy and ahead of Canada, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely better. And I think we can now move Italy down because there's a bit of a crowd.
Yeah.
Sorry, Italy. Okay,
Forza Azzurri.
time for Team 8. Oh, Lord Babur or King Babur, whatever they call him.
Bobby. Uh, I really like this one. It is one of their better ones. We've seen them in the past. I think Pakistan in the recent past have had a lot of unique patterns. So
Yeah.
they've stuck to that. You have to give it to them.
I don't. I mean, yeah, it's a unique jersey, but I feel their older jerseys have been much better because this is too green. Like there's no other accent color. I think in the past they've played with an extremely dark and light green, or they've. I think I remember they used to have a neon yellowish accent to the jersey. I think in 2022. This is just too much of green, and I also don't understand why they have this random lion or tiger over here.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan.
I think had a darker green. They used to have that in a lot of the tournaments, but you saw that in the Champions Trophy last year where they went a bit retro with their light green color, and they've stuck to
Yeah.
that over here. I think it's a bit of a refresher, and it's something no other team, maybe Ireland has it, but uh, I like that they're kind of playing around, though they could have mixed in both the greens. They
Yeah.
either go completely dark or completely light. But I
So
think it's better than a few others on this list.
yeah, definitely it's better. I think
And
it's
I
just this
really
image
like
that
the fact that they've named this jersey and they call it the Vanguard Marcor Edition.
oh, that's interesting. Maybe it's just this photo that makes it look very generic and plain, but maybe on the pitch it will look much
Yeah.
better. So
Babar makes things look easy.
so now I think we should place this maybe at the end of B because I prefer this to Nepal, I think.
I would have said A, but I think maybe ahead of Zimbabwe.
Okay. So India Pakistan are again very close. Alright, let's move to the ninth team of the day. And we have the Proteas, South Africa.
So I think over the years they've made it a bit of a tradition to go with yellow in T20s, and they've stuck to that. Considering Australia don't do yellow for their T20 version, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing for them. I think they've gone with a very unique pattern. It's a bit vague, and it feels like someone has just splashed paint on there. But I think it's good to go.
Subtle. Yeah, I think they have had a similar jersey, if I'm not wrong, in that if it was the 2019 World Cup, where it was more green but they had this similar yellow prints of an abstract pattern. So I do like this. I think it is inspired by the mountains, maybe, in Africa. That's what I think. So I like this jersey. It's, as you said, unique. Yellow is a very rare color on the field in this World Cup, so that makes it even better.
Yeah, so
So let's place
A?
it maybe, yeah, the first A. That's a solid jersey. Great. Now let's go to the 10th team. And this, I was quite disappointed with this jersey, but I'll let you make your claims first.
yeah, definitely disappointed. Even before I talk about the design, the fact that they saw everyone else with a blue jersey and instead of separating themselves, joining into that pact, it just makes no sense. And UAE has got nothing to do with blue.
Yeah.
It's out and out grey, or at least grey was their color. Even their flag doesn't have any blue, so I don't know why they've gone with blue. And to pair that with gold reminds me of Mumbai Indians. But I think talking about this jersey and leaving aside everything else, it's good. They have represented their deserts over there in some way, but that it would have looked much better on a grey color.
Yeah, exactly. If you swap this blue for black or dark gray, the gold would have popped even more. I think
Mm.
that would have been a banging jersey. This looks very generic. You can maybe misunderstand this for Afghanistan because it's pretty much the same colors. So if you look at this jersey solely, I think it's decent. They've got this nice diamond pattern, which is very similar to the CSK jersey we have seen. They've also got this diamond pattern, and I like the dunes as well. Uh, so I think based on this jersey itself, I would give it a B. But because it's UAE and they could have done better, I think it's a C.
Yeah.
But do you prefer it to Canada? I think I prefer it to Canada.
Yeah. Canada.
I think
Yes.
Canada should. The Canadian jersey would have looked better for UAE. It's a similar
Yeah, exactly.
shade.
So I think, yeah, they disappointed me.
Right. So we have reached halfway mark, and as you can see, there are a lot of good jerseys to come. So for viewers, don't stop. Just keep watching. Number 11 is the arch nemesis, Australia and Travis Head.
I think this is one of their preferred colors, as I mentioned before. They've swapped to this. I like this color. This is, I think, one unique shade in this tournament, which nobody is using. And they've gone with a bit of their indigenous pattern, which they have kind of
Embraced.
inculcated in every jersey,
Yeah. Yeah.
at least since the start of this decade. So I like this jersey. I think they could have done something at the bottom of the shirt, but you don't always have to do it just for the sake of it. I think sometimes even this much looks good.
Yeah, I prefer this a lot compared to the previous T20 jerseys because the older jerseys looked like a training kit, but this one looks like a proper match kit. And I think on the side they also have those like yellow stripes, similar to the ODI jersey. So I think this jersey will look quite good in the under the floodlights. So I'm happy with this. Oh, uh,
I think this would go into right next to Pakistan for me.
yeah, I agree. Absolutely. You're back. Australia would go. So you're saying ahead or behind?
Ahead.
Ahead of Pakistan.
I'm starting to think we might have to push one a bit up.
I think India is
Yeah.
better compared to all the other ones. India is much better. All right.
So those who saw us putting India at B and have commented and left, they would be surprised to know that that's not what we ended up with.
Right. Let's go to Team 12. And this is the surprise package of this World Cup. Scotland.
S, no notes. That's what I would say. They've always done this. I like the fact that they go with this color. They used to go with dark blue as well before, with white crosses all over
Yeah.
because of the flag. But I think this is one of the best jerseys, and the fact that Grey Nichols makes it, and the fact that they printed these jerseys out in Bengaluru and shipped it to them, I think within 48 hours is a very good tidbit to know. And I think they also let their fans make the designs and they go with the best one. That's what they have always been doing. So I like that, and the fact that there is the flag on the collar. I think this is the perfect one.
Yeah, absolutely agree. This reminds me of those old England jerseys or even their ODI jersey currently. A bit abstract, and I like this purple color. I think it's also unique for this World Cup, so big fan. So I think this is a straight S, or let's put it in A and then we'll move them to S later.
I
But I
think
think,
this will go in S later on.
yeah. So I think this is the best jersey so far. For now, we'll place it in A and then later we'll rearrange it. Okay. Team 13 then. And we're very close to Scotland with Ireland now. What are your thoughts?
I like this as well. Uh, they've gone with a mixture of dark and light green. If the pants are dark green, I think it would look better. So I don't know why they added blue there. Doesn't
Yeah.
make much sense. But the pattern, it's a bit jarring. The one on the main pattern, the sleeves look good actually. So I have a mixed opinion.
Yeah, I agree with the blue. It just doesn't. You can't even see it properly because of the color that they've gone with the green. But all in all, it's quite decent. I think this pattern, as you said, is it's a bit too much. But when they're on the field, I think we won't be able to see it. So on the field, this should look good. And this is the green that I was expecting from Pakistan because their jerseys look very good when they have this shade of green. But I think they knew that Ireland might do this, so they went with a different one. But anyways, I think this deserves to be maybe at the back end of B or at the top of C.
I think B is a better choice.
Alright. So you're seeing a pattern at B. All green jerseys are ending up there.
And all blues in C.
Okay. Team 14. Oh, this is another contender for the World Cup. This time it's Afghanistan.
Yeah, I like that they've kind of embraced the light and the dark both this time. I've seen them always have a single color and nothing really creative. But even in the Champions Trophy, they actually did a good job, if I remember correctly. So I like that they're paying attention to these small things also now. Uh, I like it. They look like a tiger's claws,
Yeah.
which is a good sign. And the differentiating or the separator in the middle are those dark lines. So I think it's a clean looking jersey.
Yeah, I agree. It looks very good. But again, this is the reason we criticize UAE because the color is basically the same. UAE just has gold instead of black. But I hope Afghanistan and UAE are not playing a match. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to identify who is who. But coming back to
I
this,
remember watching the warm up game between Italy and UAE, and they
yeah,
practically have the same jersey.
correct, Italy as well. Yeah, but coming back to this jersey, it reminds me of the 2015 India jersey for the World Cup, where they also had those vertical patterns. So it's a nice touch. It looks a bit more modern. I'm
Yeah,
quite
and now
happy.
that I think of it, Afghanistan and UAE are in the same group, so they
Oh,
will.
so good luck to all the in-person viewers, because I think at home you'll easily know. So where are we
Yeah,
placing this?
uh, I think I like this jersey to be honest, and they have always been blue, so you can't complain with that. I would put them at B. Yeah,
Yeah, I prefer them over Zimbabwe.
I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, sure. So with Ved gone, let's rearrange this a bit. I think Canada should move down to D. I'm sorry, but this color palette doesn't really belong to Canada at all. UAE, I think the jersey itself is pretty good, which is why they survive at sea. But I think the color palette is totally wrong. UAE should have been a dark gray or even black. I mean, Canada's color pattern is fit for UAE, as I said earlier. Apart from that, I think it looks pretty decent. I think looking again, I do prefer Afghanistan over Pakistan as well because if you look at the two jerseys, right, they're quite similar with the patterns, but Afghanistan has this dark blue accent, which is what Pakistan is missing. So that's why I think Afghanistan is better. Okay, so wait this back. Let's move to the next jersey.
I see Canada being dumped down.
Jersey number 15 then. And it's England. This is the only team that hasn't done their official photo shoot yet because I think they're playing in Sri Lanka. So I had to go with this image. But what do you think?
I think they do really good jerseys, Castor, with England. And this is basically the pattern is just the three lines enlarged,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
gives a good feel. I really like this jersey, and they've always been following this red for T20s and blue for ODIs. They do work around with the shade of the blue in ODIs, but T20s is fixed. So I think very similar reactions as that to Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very similar template as well. Scotland is a bit more abstract, but here you can see the lines. But I really love when England goes a bit bold. I really hate their plain jerseys, so this one is absolutely fantastic. And I think it should. Oh, this is gone again. But I think it deserves to be at the top of A. I think I prefer it over Scotland.
Yeah, I would still give it to Scotland, but
Okay.
this is very close.
Yeah. So the English or the Great Britain fans would be quite happy if they're watching this. Alright. Next up, we have Namibia. And interesting, they're sponsored by Flipkart, if you can see. So
Yeah.
quite an interesting sponsorship. But what are your thoughts on the jersey?
I think they've toned down quite a bit. I remember them having a very good uh, navy blue and light blue kind of a mix. So they've gone a bit down. It looks clean. I think it's one of the few jerseys that doesn't have a different shade for the sleeves, which is kind of a unique factor for them. Uh, I'm not quite sure if they've got the collar right. Maybe it's a way to again differentiate, but I don't like that. And they don't have a collar, if I'm seeing it correctly. So I think it's one of those plain jerseys. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. But in one sense, it's good that they have toned down their blue. Otherwise, it would have been, I think, 4 teams with a similar blue shade. So this jersey will at least stand out. I like the red accents that they have going around the sleeves and even down here. In general, it's a plain jersey, but it's class. It's not just too vague like Sri Lanka. They have a few
Yeah.
things going. Alright. I think this belongs in the C tier, and I definitely prefer it over UAE. Maybe not US. Sorry. Alright. So again, a lot of blue in this tier. Interesting. Now we have some OGs jerseys coming up. Only 4 more teams left. So let's go to jersey 17. And it's Oman. What are your thoughts?
I think this is the first time they've actually given a thought to their jersey. I've never seen a different version of their jersey. This is the first time I'm actually seeing a bit of white and a bit of pattern. So I like it,
Yeah.
and the fact that one of their sleeves is green and the other is red. Uh, so it's basically the continuation of the pattern on the left. So
Yeah.
I like that look. I think it will look very unique on the field. So that I give to them. And there aren't many red jerseys either. I think I would. Oh yeah, what do you think before I say my rating?
Yeah, I am a big fan of the jersey because I also read a bit more about the design philosophy. Although it doesn't matter much, but this pattern that they have going on, let me zoom in a bit. This pattern over here, it symbolizes the mountains in Oman, and we know that Oman is kind of surrounded by mountains, so it's good.
Yeah,
And this pattern that they have is inspired by the palm trees that you see on the beaches, or the date trees, which makes sense. So
that makes more sense.
yeah, and as you said, they have used the national colors, so they've given a lot of thought, and it's a very clever design.
Yeah, and the team is also doing very well. They defeated Sri Lanka A and Zimbabwe in the
Oh,
warm-ups. Good signs. So
yeah,
I think we can put this jersey in the B tier.
yeah, definitely. And I prefer it to Afghanistan, but not Australia. Good job from Oman. I think that they are one team that hasn't played a lot of cricket since the Asia Cup. So
Yeah,
with that kind of a state, they've still done well in terms of the jersey. So I think we are going to finish strong now with three really good jerseys. Let's see which is the first one. We have Netherlands, and this one is I think also designed by Grey Nichols, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, and no wonder. Again, it's a very good jersey. Orange is, of course, I would go on and say the rarest color on the field, unless India do something tomorrow. But for the time being, I really like this jersey. Again, the pattern on it is subtle, not jarring to the eyes, and I like the collar work as well.
Yeah.
Though it has got nothing to do with the rest of the jersey, but it stands out, and they've got the Dutch flag on the collar, so I really like it. Maybe something they could have done would have been even the sleeves or the edge of the sleeves, had they gotten the flag over there as well.
Yeah,
Maybe, but even this I really like.
yeah, I'm with you. Uh, the orange shade is really nice. It's not too dark and it's not too light. This is also again similar to Pakistan. It's just missing a bit of accent. It's just plain all orange. But other than that, I really like the Dutch flag. It's a nice addition. And yeah, in general, I like this jersey. So where are we placing it? I think it's better than Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
So let's. I think we should move Ireland down now. That's fair. Cool. So we are left with
Two
two
more to go.
really, and these are the two top jerseys which we expect to see a lot in this World Cup. So let's go with the first one, which is West Indies.
I think this looks really clean. It's the first time I'm getting a full view of this jersey. I like it a lot. Uh, I think over the years they've used a bit more of yellow every time, but this is, I think, the most appropriate use of yellow. It's not just for the sake of it, they've used the design really well. And even the West Indies written in the middle looks good. The font I like. So it's a very solid jersey.
Yeah, I agree with the use of yellow, because in the past they've basically made a yellow jersey with maroon accents. This one is primarily maroon, which is what the West Indies are known for. The only disappointing part is the lack of sponsorships. I think even Italy and Namibia have managed to secure sponsorships, but not West Indies. So that just shows the sorry state of their cricket. But this jersey looks good, and they've made it. I mean, it fills up a lot of the jersey, so it's not. It doesn't look
Yeah.
plain at all. So I like it.
And I remember Darren Sammy in the press conference has said that he really likes this kind of a scenario for West Indies where no one is taking them seriously. And he went on to say that the same thing happened with them in 2016 and they went on to win. And he also, last month, if I'm not wrong, when he announced the squad, he did say that. Something
He's
really
expecting something special.
is going to happen. So I can see a lot of belief in that camp, and I'm excited.
Well, if you want to hear our predictions, you can check out this episode. But yeah, where do you think this jersey goes?
I think this goes in A.
Wow. I actually prefer it to India. Okay,
That is a bit. Yeah.
I understand. Silence speaks. Okay, so now it's time for the last jersey. I'm sure you know which one it is. It's the Black Caps from New Zealand.
I like this a lot. I really like that they've done away with the grey kind of thing that was going on. This looks a much better jersey. The blue and even the shade of the blue that they've gone with and the pattern. It looks really clean. I think black in general looks a bit better than the rest of the colors because of its rarity and under lights. So I like that, and then the design as well. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This reminds me of the 2015 World Cup jersey, which had a transition from black to blue. And that was one of my favorite New Zealand jerseys of all time. This design as well, it kind of is appropriate for an Indian World Cup, because this reminds me of those Indian paintings that I've seen. So it's a nice fitting jersey. And this, I think, goes in A as well. It's really good.
Yeah, I think this goes between England and South Africa.
Oh, nice. So it's a nice and even spread between these three tiers. But now it's time to choose your top three jerseys of this World Cup.
I think Scotland, New Zealand, and India for me.
Yeah, Scotland makes it through for sure. I think I would prefer England over New Zealand. And I think India. I think now that I see it, India, the jersey looks a lot more professional. So let's move India as
Yeah.
well. So now it's basically between England and New Zealand. So you know what? Let's just move both of them. and now that we have some space, I think Australia deserves to come over here, and also Oman. So this is
Yeah.
a fair assessment. We can also move UAE down now. So that
Yeah,
we
that
have-
was my next suggestion.
So there you go. That's our 5 tiers. Are you happy
I
with
think,
this?
yeah, it's all balanced. I really like balanced things in life. So even this tier list goes well.
Yeah. Additionally, I'll provide the link to this in the description. So our viewers, if you're watching,
I
you
don't know
can-
what you'll do with that But
Yeah, you can click on the link, create your own tier list, and maybe you can share
yeah,
it in the comment section. So it will be a nice exercise for you as well.
yeah, and you can give your opinion in the comment section. We are all ears.
Great. So with that, the game show has come to an end. But आज का agenda, what's anything else that we need to speak about?
At the time of recording, World Cup is going to kick off in 2 hours. So, a bit excited. The first game is, of course, Pakistan versus Netherlands. I think we can just quickly sum up the warm ups for now.
Yeah.
Because I have a few takeaways from there. So, in
Yeah.
this video, or we can record a new one.
Yeah, sure.
So for the time being, this is Ved signing off.
Thank you.